Welcome to Satisfactory. This is probably the only video you're ever going to see on this channel from this game, because I just feel as though the game isn't that great. Like, there's going to be a lot of people that disagree with that statement straight away, but for me personally, I don't really enjoy it. I absolutely loved starting the game, but then when I got into it, I started to realise that it's just the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again. And it doesn't get any better. I believe, I don't know this for certain, but I've heard from quite a few different sources, this game has literally had 3 updates in over a year. They released at some point in 2019, and the developers have literally put out 3 updates, and it sounds about right, because there is one bug as soon as you load into the game if you're playing co-op. I loaded in, hosted the session, invited Con and Pete into the game, and straight off the bat, they can't collect leaves. Leaves are used in this game to create biomass, then solid biofuel. It fuels all of your generators and stuff, like your biomass burners. It fuels all of those so that you can actually have your miners, your conveyor belts and stuff working, so that everything actually works how it's supposed to. And I get that it's not a massive thing, there are other ways to create it, and the host can go out and gather it, but it's irritating. It's a bug. It's incredibly annoying being, when you're hosting, being the only player that can actually go and gather leaves. And it's off-putting because if there are other bugs that you discover in the game, the chances are they're never going to be fixed because the devs literally don't update the game. But we started playing, and literally from about 10-15 minutes in, I was having fun with it, don't get me wrong, but from the moment we got into the game, started doing a bit of crafting, I realised it's just you might as well go play an idle clicker game, like Clicker Heroes or something like that, because that's literally all you are doing. And yes, when you get further into the game, you get better miners, they're upgraded, then your constructors and assemblers and stuff, they will do all the things for you, but they take so long. And we got to the point where we had this, I think it's called the space elevator. You need to send that up with certain things to unlock the next 2 tiers so that you can build, you can automate your stuff better. And it went from gathering 50 smart plating, which took quite a long time to actually craft, that literally the next phase to unlock the next 2 tiers is 500 smart plating. It took us a few hours to gather all the stuff to create the 50, so it probably would have taken 10, 15, possibly even more, 20, 25 hours just to craft the smart plating. And there are other things required too. So it's a massive, massive grind straight off the bat, and literally if you're wanting to get things done fast, you have to use the crafting tables, because all the other machines, unless you're building 10, 20 or even 50 of them, it's going to take forever to craft the things that you need. So you're using this crafting bench, and it's literally just you click and you just hold your mouse button down, and it's just doing all the crafting. And then you have to go off to your machines and grab some resources, go back to the crafting bench, and it got really, really tedious and boring after a couple of hours. I was already getting fed up with just literally holding my mouse button down to craft things. That's pretty much all you do in this game. And it's such a letdown because the game could be something amazing. I'm going to be trying Factorio at some point, hopefully anyway, because it's a similar sort of game. You automate stuff, you go out, you get different resources. I've also heard that game's amazing. But Satisfactory was cheap through the Epic Game Store. There's a sale, or there was, or whatever, and there was a £10 coupon that we all had, so we decided to buy it, and it was fun messing around. But then it just, as I said, it got so tedious with the crafting because it's just non-stop. That's all you do, is you build machines, you automate your production, and you just carry on crafting new things. There's not actually a lot of depth. Once you're 50, I think we are about 15 hours in, and once you're that far in, you get to the point where it's a solid grind. We're talking over 10 hours just to progress one stage and do some certain things. So it is irritating. It's not necessarily a bad game. It's not that I wouldn't recommend to play it, but it's so grindy, unbelievably grindy. So what we did is, Pete did a little bit of a Google search. We were looking for cheats and mods and admin commands and stuff because we wanted to make the game more fun. Pete found this trainer. We enabled the trainer, and fuck me, it got a little bit out of hand because there are settings on this trainer, and you can literally, when you craft something, you can take out all the requirements needed, and you can say you need smart plating, you craft one and you can set it so that it crafts 1,000 at a time. And we did this, and we actually had the trainer bug, and instead of just giving us 1,000, when we removed that, let's just say we were putting them into the waste sink, whatever it's called, so that we could get coupons for the shop. When we removed a stack from there into our inventory, it would duplicate, and instead of having 1,000, we'd have about 10,000. And it got to the point where that was starting to get annoying too, because we just had so many of the same resources because the trainer wasn't even working properly. And it got to the point where I was actually standing around the back of a rock that we would never, like probably never go near, and I was trying to dump all of my inventory because I couldn't be asked to drag every single one down to the bin to actually trash it. So I thought I'd just drag it off my screen and just drop it everywhere. And I ended up getting stuck. It was so stupid, but that gave us the ability to put all the stuff in the space elevator. We got to the final tiers, and then we realised once you've unlocked them, like tier 7, tier 8, whatever the tiers are, that's it for the game. There is nothing else to do. There's not really any exploration. You pretty much just put down your hub, and then you just start mining from there, and you start building up your production lines. And you can go into a creative mode, but we wanted to do it like survival, like how the game's supposed to be. Like, you have to start from nothing, you have to build up your resources. And I think the only time I'd ever really use creative would be if I was testing something to see if that would be efficient. But in this survival mode, like, I don't know how this game is getting so many good ratings. And people are saying, oh, I've sunk 500 hours into this game, I love it. Like, once you get to that stage, there is nothing left to do. You have your tier 8 and you can build a monorail. And after that, there's pretty much nothing else. Like, it doesn't progress past tier 8. And as I said, there are a stupid amount of bugs. Literally, from the get-go, your teammates in a co-op game cannot pick up leaves. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay in the background. It was a little bit crazy. And I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever played Satisfactory? Like, what are your thoughts on it? Because I've seen a lot of good sort of reviews saying that, like, the game's amazing. And I just personally, like, I don't know if it's just not a game for me or something, but I can't seem to get on with it. It just feels too tedious and grindy. I don't believe a game like that should be that grindy. Like, yeah, don't get me wrong, there should be a grind in a game like that, but not to that extent. But let me know all of the good stuff in the comments. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching.